There's an agenda.
Okay, good evening. This is a meeting of the Freeport Withdrawal Committee on Thursday, April 10th. It's about 6:35. We're getting going. I'm going to just bring up the website and the agenda for the folks online. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. So in attendance, we have Rich de Grand Prix, Kate Werner, Peter Murray, and Dennis King will be coming in around 7. And we have Eric Horn representing the committee in charge of the Visioning Forum here in the room, and no members of the public at the moment, but they may trickle in. First order of business is to waive the reading of minutes and accept them as written for the April 3rd meeting. May I have a motion, please, to waive the reading of the minutes and accept them as written for the April 3rd meeting?
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nobody opposed, and motion carries. Okay, number 2 is our discussion about the Freeport High School Community Visioning Forum, and I think I'll ask Eric to just report out on an update from the committee, and we'll start with that, and then we can discuss a little bit more of the plans and the steps we need to take from there.
Thanks, Pete. Hi, guys. So the Visioning Forum is coming together quite nicely. I'll just sort of lay out sort of the pieces that are falling into place. The 3 panelists that will speak at the front end are some pretty high caliber folks. We've got Duke Aganis from he's a former Commissioner of Education for the state of Maine and works with the partnership.
Great Schools Partnership.
Great Schools Partnership in Portland. He's going to speak. Each of them will speak for probably 5 to 7 minutes at the front end. His sort of family of ideas is around policy issues that Freeport, might need to pay attention to. Sort of the macro look at, where does Freeport fit in the context of, education today. Maybe talk a little bit about standards and core curriculum, and sort of give some context to the audience. We also have Tom Edwards, who, as many know, was principal here at Freeport High School for a long time, and also superintendent of the Portland Public Schools. He'll bring his perspective, I think, both as a seasoned educator, but also someone with some local knowledge of issues here. He's a really neat guy to listen to. And then also a woman named Carrie Med, who is the principal of the year for the state of Maine. She comes out of the Poland Regional High School, and she's brought a lot of innovative ideas to her school, and has a school of very similar size to the one that we have here in Freeport.
Is it somewhere in the 500 to 600?
Yeah, I think she's what, 530, something like that, and has a lot of experience sort of integrating the modern standards for high school education. So she's going to sort of be a great voice to hear from too. And then facilitating is Pamela Plum, a former Portland mayor, and accomplished meeting facilitator. And she and Pete and the 3 panelists and myself were on a conference call this morning, and we sort of just worked out sort of the overall ground rules and sort of the format of the night, which includes sort of some front end discussion and remarks, and then some discussion by those guys. And then Pam will facilitate the floor discussion, or the roundtable discussion, among the folks that participate, that come from the audience, from the public, Freeport residents. And even today on the call, it was an interesting moment where the panelists started talking a little bit, right? On the speakerphone. It was great. All of a sudden you could hear the ideas snapping.
There is some interest.
It was great. And so they asked us, what do you think? And we thought, well, that was kind of cool what just happened there. So I think Pamela would be great. She'll be a wonderful sort of circuit board to help people both think about what these folks have to say, but also get out some of their own ideas about what they want and what they value. I think the pieces now are to get the table facilitators figured out. We've got a handful of folks sort of that have agreed, and we need a few more in case we get a big turnout of several tables. So there's that. And also just as being involved in planning in any event, the thing that you worry most about is attendance. And so I think all of us are working hard to try to get the attendance as as wide or as large as it can be. So that's sort of the overview.
Yeah. I think the one thing to underscore is that the evening will start out with the panelists discussing a little bit in kind of from the front of the room and presenting some perspectives and discussing some of the thoughts with the kind of a big picture idea. And then we'll break into the round tables and people will break out and it'll be really, the evening is focused on facilitating a discussion of the Freeport community about what the community values in a high school, what the vision is for the high school, what people want out of their high school, and how that can feed into our dialogue as we're negotiating this withdrawal agreement, and what kinds of things should we be keeping in mind.
One of the questions too is what makes a great high school?
What makes a great high school?
I love that question because people will respond to that.
Well, and many people in the room went to different sized high schools,
Yeah.
so they have different perspective on what grade is or how big it has to be.
Yep. We're going to hear from hopefully everybody.
Yep. So encourage everybody to email your friends, email any mailing lists, email any groups you have, or talk about it at cocktail parties or wherever you meet people at the pickup or drop off, or in town at the town hall, and encourage them to come next Thursday night.
We have a meeting next Tuesday, and I'll reiterate. What I'd like to do is take the outline for the meeting, and I'll kind of walk through that so folks all understand, kind of what we're going to do. And it's important to come and join us because this is a conversation that needs to be had if we're going to move education forward in this community with our partners, whoever they are.
And I think it'll be fun. And I think it's a fun group. Freeport's just, when you get a bunch of folks in Freeport together, it really
it should be fun.
Some of the most exciting conversations here sometimes are around visioning forward rather than the work we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. This is an opportunity where the work we're supposed to be doing is visioning forward, so that should be good. We were talking about the idea of boiling down a high-level outline and putting that on our website so people could know what the agenda for the evening would be like, and so we might work that out, and then you could take that on Tuesday.
If I've got it by Tuesday during the day, I don't have any sooner. Largely just an outline so I can let folks know what the plan is. By then you'll know what there's going to be, if you're going to have food or if it's going to be munchies or whatever it is. So I can let folks know. I reached out to Keith. I spoke with him briefly. He was out yesterday. He didn't feel well. He's doing better today. I'm going to try and get a hold of him tomorrow. He's quite often in the office, and make sure that he reaches out to FEDC because they're mostly, there's a lot of community leaders there, but they also they have a real strong sense of not just economic development, community development. And so I think it's important that, if they can attend, it'll be an opportunity to listen as well as participate. So
That's great.
On the budget side, I did have a conversation with Sherry Broder. Her and Lindsay Sterlinger have kindly taken on the food and the setup of the event. And we did up the budget to 300. So I hope that our discussion last week about that 100 being a little low was. So if we're okay with the 300 level, and if it comes in under or a little bit over, I just want to have her keep talking to me about. They're going to do a lot of the food preparation themselves, so that will keep the cost down. So that's fantastic that they're willing to do that. So there's some food there for people, and most of all beverages.
Right, because that 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock period is going to be just schmoozing and nibbling and
5:30, I think.
5:30. Sorry, pardon me. That was I got that from the paper. Paper said 5 o'clock.
Oh, no. They're going to be showing up.
so they'll be there looking for snacks early.
Right.
Left at 5:30.
Somebody will be there at 5, I'm sure.
If that gets them in there, I'm okay.
Right. So, but we'll have that period of time before the meeting for nibbling and schmoozing and talking to folks. So.
Well, and I think people are much more comfortable talking about things if first of all, they get to know people a little bit, or they recognize, I do know these people, so they're more comfortable talking.
Yeah. So it's important. Everybody's welcome. Good.
Request cookies and candy on the table. So.
Candy on the table. Nice.
Special request.
I'll get on the Bow Street here. I get to sponsor our meeting.
I think that's the theme here. Is the candy on the table. Was there something else? Oh, yeah, so we have ads going in.
Yes.
We have ads in the current
There was an ad
Tri-Town.
that ran on Wednesday in the Tri-Town, half-page ad, and there's another one that I actually have to, that is going to be running again next week on the 16th, and the deadline is due tomorrow noon, so if there's any adjustments to the ad, I did take some suggestions from last week, and did some edits, last-minute edits to the ad before it went out, but I have a little bit more time this week to do some work in the morning if we have some feedback on that. I thought it looked really good in the paper.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
And the postcards hit, that was.
Yep, oh, they
worked well.
Joanna
They're
worked
up.
some sort of magic.
Yeah.
Really? That was way faster than we thought. We were worried it was going to be too late. Now it's a little too early in a sense.
We confirmed it like on Thursday, and you had it in your hand on Saturday.
That was amazing.
Wow.
It was pretty remarkable. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little faster.
And there was a write-up in the Tri-Town for this week too, second or third page on the left. Pretty good size article. Covering.
You guys aren't answering your phone today. He knows I will.
Yeah. No, it's you took the point on that one, Richie, and I appreciate that because I down in Boston got out of touch. So.
Well, and I knew you were away, and I weren't sure if you were even back yet. So
I was on the road,
Yeah, and I suggested that they might try you, although I didn't want to give anybody, all of your contact information because they'll make you crazy.
Okay.
But I said you have an email address. It is posted, so you can always email him. He's really good about getting back to you. So I didn't know if they tried to contact you or not.
No,
they didn't.
No.
Okay.
No, I've been in touch with Brendan and Larry as well, and invited him. They can call anytime. So. All right. What else on the forum? We've done communication. We've got food. Yay, go food! And
You can bring your own pizza.
No. I have good faith in those folks that come up with some yummy things. So
I'm sure
it'll
they
be
will
good. But it was really inspiring to be on that conference call this morning. And I think it's a good group, and I think if we can get folks to come out, it'll be a wonderful night for Freeport. So that's terrific.
And I think the questions are great. I mean, it's like, what's your vision? What does it look like? I mean, what's a great school? What's a great
high school experience?
It's not really trying to get you to think anywhere. There is no box. Just think.
Yep.
What do you want?
Yep.
Good. All right. I think that's it for business on that front. We're all set.
Are you guys going into?
We're going to do public comment now.
Okay.
You're the only public. Do you want to say
No
a comment? No comment?
Just a thanks. You guys really,
thank you.
a lot of hard work you guys are putting into this.
Thanks. Well,
it's not going unnoticed.
You got, without you guys stepping up to the plate, we'd be even busier trying to.
I think it was huge, the work the committee did, Eric in particular, on planning the forum and pulling all that together. It was a lot of work and a lot of detail and follow-up, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm gonna.
Good, I guess with that, we'll consider a motion to enter into executive session here after only 15 minutes here, but that'll be good. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We did, just as a quick update for folks online, we did receive a draft back from the working group, and we're going to go through that with our attorney this evening, and we'll work through that and hopefully have a response in time for next week's negotiation meeting with the working group, and we're just going to keep noodling it along. And that's the only update there. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed? The motion carries. Good night, everyone. Thank you very much for listening.